this is Dave with Dave's TR4A. Thanks for coming back to my channel. So this is going to be the next phase of my engine rebuild. Originally, I had a series of videos on my cylinder head, repairing the damage on that, which involved some bad valves and actually broken valve springs I had no idea about, and a few other things. But anyway, that was taken care of. And then I found out that my camshaft had lost a lobe. And I figured the best thing to do here was to pull the motor. And initially the idea was just to take it out, take the engine apart, and get it boiled out to make sure all the remnants of the camshaft destruction was out of my oil galleries and everything. So anyway, we found I'm having a machinist put my motor together for me this time, just to make sure that because this was my second BP 270 camshaft that died. So I don't know if it's me or not, but I'm getting me out of the picture. So anyway, in this video, I was out to talk to see how my machinist was coming along, and he's made some good progress. He started balancing the rotating components, and that's what I want to show today. So anyway, let's get into it. So when I got out to Ron's today, the machinist, he was in the middle of balancing or weighing a piston, one of my pistons for my engine. And so I asked him, what exactly, Ron, what do you mean when you say you're balancing an engine? And so how he explained it to me is you have this mass that's going up and down in the cylinder, and it consists of the connecting rod, the rod bolts, the piston, the wrist pin, the piston rings, even the little clips that hold the wrist pin in. So the object is to get all those parts to weigh the same. It doesn't matter what the number is, but it has to be the same, or within what he shoots for is a half a gram. So the lightest piston is 700 grams. He's going to have to try to get all the other pistons down to that. The way he said it is, it's easy to take weight off, but he can't put it back on again. So you have to be real careful. So if he does screw up and get one that's lower than the rest, then he's got to turn around and get all the other three to match that piston. So it's a very time-consuming process. I watched him do that one piston. I have some video of it here. You get, he says, you get down to like a gram that you have to get rid of. It's kind of a fine dance to how much should I take off. But so anyway, I'll show you some pictures here. He has the rods done, and I can show you what he did to those. And then he was working on the pistons. And then once he gets the pistons done, then he can start balancing or setting up the crankshaft to balance across all the journals, because now he'll know what that weight is supposed to be for that nominal weight for each piston assembly, with the rod and the bearings and all that together. So let's get on. I'll show you the rods now. So Ron starts with the small end of the rod first and measures those, and three of the rods were, the small end of the rod was within half a gram of each other, and this one was out about, maybe, I think he said it was about 3 or 4 grams heavier on this end than the other rods. So he basically just kind of used a belt sander to kind of sand a little bit of the metal off till he got them down to where they were all the same, within half a gram at least. So it's kind of interesting, because now you can start to see what an impact uneven weights flying up and down in the cylinders can make on an engine, the way how smooth it runs and everything. So anyway, let me show you some of the bottom ends. I should point out too that before we talk about the balancing of the bottom here, that Ron had gone ahead and resized the journal opening to where it was actually round again. Basically, you mill a little bit off the cap and then clamp it back on there, and then you basically ream the bore out to match whatever the bearing size is going to be on the rod. But okay, so anyway, back to balancing. what you can, I don't have the fancy arrows and stuff on my videos and stuff, but you can see there are shiny spots there. There's like that one bottom flange piece that's sticking out as shiny. That's he took material off of that, and also off of the one side of the journal there. You can see it's like scuffed almost. And so anyway, those are all done, and you can see my I got my ARP rod bolts on there, so I'm glad I got those. So it's just one more thing to not have to worry about. Here's another example of balancing the bottom end of the rod, where you can see Ron's taking a little bit of material off of all three bottom surfaces there. So, but they're all perfectly balanced now within a half a gram. So the motor's going to be a lot smoother. And so let's show you. I'll show you the pistons next. Yeah. Oh. So that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
More healthcare than checkups that check boxes. With UC Health.
And after all that, he still had a half a gram to go. So here's kind of a slow scan of the crankshaft. You can see Ron's got the chamfers on the oil passages through the crankshaft there, and they're all polished. Last thing he has to do to it is balance it based on the results of balancing all the other components that go on the crankshaft. But yeah, it looks really nice. We're pretty happy with it. Ron spent a ton of time cleaning out the bottom of the block where the liners sit, and you'll notice that he put it's a hot galvanized coating that he put on the inside of the block to kind of retard the rust development. So I'll show you a little bit of that here in a short video. Well, that's about it for this video, everybody. Thanks again for watching. I think this time next week I should have all the rotating components balanced, and next up is assembly, and then on to the test stand. So thanks again for watching. That's it for now. Please like and subscribe.